Hello, hello, and welcome to the Secret Wealth Project. I'm Matt, as if you don't know already. Hope you're doing all right. So we are live on a Sunday morning. I don't know who's even awake right now because it's quite early and it is Sunday. And as an extension of that, the weather is actually good in the UK. So our American friends are all obviously probably asleep right now. Our UK friends are thinking, this is too early. I'm not doing this. But anyway, you know what? I'm doing it anyway. Let's rock and roll. Let's do this. Let's see if you can see the board. Okay. Let me just jiggle this around a little bit. There we go. I'm going to use a 30p sheet of paper, guys, just for you lot. So let's get started. Can you kind of see me? I'll sit down and then I'll stand up. In fact, I'll probably sit down. That might be better, right? Let's sit down. Right. Right. So, Secret Soldiers. Who we got? Manjot's here. I've been all right, Manjot. Are you? You okay? I'm a little bit burnt from the recent Barcelona trip, but I'm good. Right, I'm going to crack on anyway and get started because I don't expect a lot of people to be live right now because you lot are lazy suckers that are laying in bed or out there thinking about the sunshine and you should be grinding. To be fair, I've done my plenty fair share of not working this week, so I can't bash you for it. But joking aside, let's crack on. So, the topic of today is leadership. Now, leadership is one of them things, right? You might think, I'm not a leader. I don't need to be a leader. Leadership is not part of my business, not part of my life, not part of my job. You are wrong. Leadership is ultra important. And everybody that is entrepreneurial should be a leader. That's just the bottom line. So Manjot says, you don't look that bad considering how red you was in Barcelona too, right? Now look all right. I'm peeling, but it's not bad. I had some bad peel there. Anyway, sorry, tangent. Right. So whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a manager, whether you just work for a company, whether you lead people right now or you don't, or you have customers, you have your own business, whatever you are, wherever you're at in your life, leadership is going to come into your life in some way or another. It's just a bottom line, just a fact. It's just how it is. I promise you that. Now, there's leaders, there's good leaders and there's bad leaders. We've all had bad leaders. You've all worked for a dodgy manager or had a dodgy kind of teacher at school at the very least. They're leaders to a certain extent, or they're meant to be. But we've all had good, well, probably not all had good managers or good leaders, but we've all had bad ones, I think, pretty much everybody without fail. And you know what? I've always been not fascinated by it, but what's the right word? Interested in what makes a good leader and what makes a bad leader. And I've always been interested because leading is about influence. And if you can influence people, if you can lead people to go in the same direction as you, then you can be ultra productive and get a lot of stuff done. So, for example, it's really off-putting to have done this live. I should have done it. I just should have done it video because I could see the comments coming up and it's really hard not to see them come up and pay attention to them. Hey, Sean. Hey, Paul. Hey, Danang. Yeah, it's really hard to see stuff coming up and then not respond. So I should have done this as a video, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a live. And if you guys have got any questions about this or anything else, we can talk about some questions if you like to. Right, anyway, so here's the thing, right? This is an old adage, or I don't know if the right word's adage, but this is an old thing that I always used to know. And I don't know where I picked it up from. So I apologize to whoever something that you get along the way. But right, so leadership. So let me excuse my writing. Leadership. So this is what I always used to see it as, right? And this is how I used to think about it in my mind. So it's all about knowing the way, showing the way, and then going the way. Now, I'm certain that's come from someone and that's not my own, but I don't know who, so I apologize for that, for not being able to cite the reference. But know the way, show the way, and then go the way. So how leadership works is you've got to know where you're going. You've got to know your plan of where you are going to go to. right? If you don't have a plan yourself, you can't lead anybody in that direction. So if you're the CEO of a company and you don't know where it's going, how do you expect to have your employees or your customers or anyone follow you that direction? You're not going to be able to. So first things first, you've got to have a plan. You've got to know the way you're going. You've got to know what strategy. You've got to understand your plan, understand the direction. And then once you understand it, you have to move that direction. Not move the direction. You've got to show others. So it's all right having this big plan. I want to become a multimillionaire, but how are you going to do it, right? Once you've figured that out, so once you've known the way, once you know the way, then the next bit is you could show the way. So you go, right, this is the plan, and this is how we're going to do it, right? This is leadership. This is just like typical leadership. And then the last bit is to go the way. Now, this is not John Maxwell stuff. This is just what I've always known in my head. This is what I always saw as leadership. And again, I don't know where it's from, but know the way, show the way, go the way. So you've got to know where you're going. You've got to have a plan. You've got to show others that plan and where to go. And then you've got to move in that direction together. So you've got to know the way, show the way, and go the way. Right, let me just click my little notes up here, which will get rid of your lot's faces. Not that I can see your faces, but right. So now I'm going to talk to you about John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership. Okay, so this is John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership. Again, sorry about my writing. Right, so I was watching this video earlier on today, and it just made me think, that gives me a little inspiration for a video. But basically, what I'm going to say, I'm not going to rip him off. I'm not going to say, this is mine, this is John Maxwell's, right? And if you want to know more about this stuff, if you're interested in being a good leader, leading an organization or whatever, then go check his stuff out, okay? So that's a plug for him. Again, I've not checked his stuff out. This is pretty much the first time I've been exposed to him, but I liked this, so I thought I'll talk about it. So let me just click on that other thing and make sure you can see the bottom of the screen. Can you see that? Yeah, you can just see it, right? So, okay. So, step 1, level 1, right? This is probably where most of your managers and supervisors and stuff were at in whatever workplace or job you've ever done, pretty much, right? And it's step level 1, which we're going to put here. And level 1 is position. Okay, and again, this is John's stuff, not mine. I'm just giving you a summary or the cliff notes or a very, very brief version. If you want to check it out more, go check it out there. But position, so that's level 1. So in position, this, like I say, is most of this managers and supervisors you have ever worked for. You listen to them and you do what they say because they are your manager. But that's it. And you only really follow that manager because you've got to. So if you don't, you lose your job. Do you know what I mean? Or if you don't, you get into trouble or whatever. So it's just position. And that's the lowest rung on the level of leadership. That's the ultimate kind of bottom rung of it. Now, most people will probably start there. You're a leader because it's your position. But that is not where true leadership is. That's just kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, you've seen these war films whereby they've got like a corporal or sergeant or whatever, and they've got to follow him into battle, and they have no faith in the sergeant. They don't believe he's got what it takes to keep them alive, never mind win a war or win a battle. And they're like, they don't trust him. They don't want to follow him into battle. And then oftentimes sometimes the story arc will take you over to, in the end, they do end up trusting him or realize that all the things they didn't trust him for in the beginning, they were wrong and they were okay to trust him. But position, basically military, you are my sergeant, I will follow you into war because I have to. Because if not, I'll get court-martialed or something. That's position, right? Level 2, the next one up, let me draw another thing. So level 2 is permission, okay? Again, this is John's stuff, not mine. I'm not taking credit. Permission. Okay, so this is where people follow you because they want to follow you. So this is relationship based. So basically, they like you. So if you can get your colleagues, workmates, whatever, business partners, or customers or whatever to like you, they are more able and willing to buy into your vision and what you're telling them and all that stuff. So it's relationship based and permission based. So basically, the first rung is position. You got the job. You are their manager or the supervisor, so they have to follow you. The second one is they actually like you. They respect you in that way, so they kind of want to follow you. So this is a much better place to be in. This, believe it or not, is not easy for many people to get to, because a lot of people in positions of kind of leadership, at least in organizations, probably shouldn't be there. So, for example, the gym that I was at before, the latest gym we joined, the manager there, she was terrible. Like, she was awful with people. She was awful with staff. She wasn't capable. I don't know how she got the job. They were clearly following her because she was in a position of power. She got sacked. Before we left that gym, she got sacked. I'm not saying we got anything to do with it, because I don't think we did, but they did the right thing. She shouldn't have been there. But she would have never got to this level, this permission-based leadership. And most people struggle to get there. It's very hard to be a leader and kind of be liked at the same time. But being liked is part of, or at least respected, is part of somebody giving you permission. So again, these is what John Maxwell talks about. I'm not saying what I'm talking about is directly what he's talked about. I'm just giving you my interpretation of his model, okay? With loosely what he's talked about. Just covering my own back there, just in case anybody thinks like that's John Maxwell's thing. Well, that's why I've named it John Maxwell's thing, because it's his and not mine. And again, check him out if you like his stuff, or if you like the idea of this stuff, or you're interested in leadership. So number 3 is production. So people follow you because of what you've done for the organization. So production, this is basically you are able to make money and drive results, and that's why people will follow you. So again, position would start it. Permission is the next rung up, and the next rung up is production. So you basically are able to drive results in the organization or drive results in your business or whatever. People look to that and almost look to it with not envy, but they look to it with respect. The respect for the fact that you are able to produce. So people are like, well, they know what they're talking about because they drive results. Yeah. So that's 3. Number 4 is people development. I'm going to have to make a bigger thing for this. For people development. So this is basically, let me just read what it says on the screen. People follow because of what you have done for them. So by developing people, by helping them become the person that they should be, become a leader themselves, and then they can recruit more leaders. That's people development. Now, this bit I'm really interested in, like getting people to be the best version of themselves, because oftentimes you'll struggle, and it's not through any fault of your own. Oftentimes it's the person's just not at that level yet. But I'm very interested in this because ever since my early days of business, I was a bit obsessed with network marketing or multi-level marketing, and I did a couple of MLM kind of companies and stuff. I joined them. Didn't really do that much with them, but and decided to go my own route and go the internet way on my own. But I've got a lot of respect for network marketing and MLM in the way it's structured. I don't from a point of, I know a lot of you will be going, oh, that's pyramid selling, that's scamming and stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about pyramid selling. What I'm talking about is the way that MLM is kind of structured around people and recruiting other people and helping to develop those other people. So when I joined these MLM companies, one of them was Clean Easy. So in the UK, it's like a catalogs company. You post Clean Easy catalogs through people's doors. They had like cleaning products in and gadgets and things. People would buy the stuff, order them through you. You'd get something like, I think it was 23% at the time. But who recruited you into that company, they would get a percentage or a volume bonus. And then who recruited them into the company got a bonus. So there was an incentive for self-development or developing your team built into the business model. And that's what I liked about it. So you didn't just recruit somebody and leave them to it. That's a quick way to make no money. You'd recruit somebody and try and find leaders, other leaders like yourself, and you'd find and recruit leaders, and then you'd basically train them up to try and recruit more leaders. And I really like that. And it was very self-development focused. It was very kind of personal, kind of growth focused. And I like that about MLM. I'm not saying that every MLM company's good. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying I like the way that people and personal development was built into the business model. So anyway, so this is reproducing your results by, I suppose, creating new leaders. I think that's what he's meaning by level 4. So position, so you've just got the position of authority. You're just the boss because you've been put there. Permission is they actually like you being the boss because you're good at it. They like you and all that stuff. Production is you're really good at making money and impacting the bottom line of the business and driving results, driving sales and stuff. So people respect you, and people respect you, I suppose. Production, and then people development. You are able to reproduce people like yourself. So you are able to. So it would be the equivalent of a general manager in a car dealership, basically recruiting like a sales manager that recruits other salespeople. So you recruit the sales manager, and then maybe you train them to be a really good sales manager and recruit more salespeople. Well, then now all of a sudden your efforts have been reproduced because you've recruited that person who then can recruit more people. And then potentially as the organization grows, you can recruit more and more people kind of thing by training people up and developing them as a person. So I did see it mentioned as what's in it for me, people development. So that's them thinking what's in it for me. To follow you. Right, last one, level 5. I've kind of run out of space here, so I'm glad it is the last one, is pinnacle, okay? And again, sorry if I got any of this wrong. I only watched a video of it, and I just thought it was interesting stuff. So this is my loose interpretation based on what I've watched. And again, if you want to check it out, go check him out. But pinnacle, and this is the true ultimate respect, right? So people follow you because of who you are and what you represent. So in that case, very few people ever get there. And those kind of people are who I would refer to as people like, for example, the Jim Rohns of the world, or the, what's his name? Big jaw, shiny teeth. Tony Robbins, that's him, Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins is at the pinnacle of his game. So you've built this momentum, you've built this following, you've built this massive organization, you've been in the game for a long period of time, you're at the pinnacle of your career and of your leadership kind of positions. And that's basically the kind of ultimate place to be that probably not many people will ever get to. But if you can get there, it's just you're almost seen as like a god to other people in your organization. So all of this stuff will fall in line. So that's it. That's John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership. Now, something else that I thought was interesting was when he was doing his little talk that I was watching. When he was doing his little talk that I was watching, he was talking about when you're listening to him, you should be putting the people you lead or the people that you know into these categories of where they're at. And this is really interesting because that is exactly what I was doing when I was hearing him talk. Like these are the people that leave at 5 p.m. he was saying. These are the people that are gone, the position people. They're gone. In fact, they're gone half an hour before. They're looking for excuses to pack the bags, and they're like doing stuff. That's them. And what I'm saying is you could put person 1 into each one of these, and you've probably got a few different ones of these in your life. But I thought that was a little side note and an interesting little side note. So that's it. This was meant to be Q&A, but because it's a Sunday morning and the sun's shining and nobody really left many questions, other than Adam. Thank you, Adam. I don't know if you're watching, but yeah, so I've ended up talking about this instead. But I find it interesting because to build something huge, you know, you're going to have to involve people. And like I say, people, whether you're selling stuff, whether you're leading a team, whether you're working for a big company, whether you're building a company of your own, whatever you're doing, people and leadership are going to come into it. So that's interesting. It takes my level of knowledge from no show and go and whatever I've picked up in the game and experience of running my own nightclub and setting up multiple businesses and stuff. But this takes it just that little step further that I thought was worth talking about. Right. So that's it. That's all I've got to say about that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the comments and see what you guys have got to say, if anything. And Sean says, hi, Matt. Sean from SWP. Hey, Sean. Claire's here. Hello, Claire. I don't know if you're still here, but hello. Xinyu Zhang says you have a strong mind of critical thinking. Yeah, I appreciate the kind sentiment, but this was not mine. Just, I know I've said it about 100 times, but I don't want anyone to be all like, what? I thought I got toothpaste on my lip then. Good morning, FBA UK. Sean says, are these not pyramid schemes like Herbalife? Yeah, MLM, I suppose, is what people say is pyramid selling. If you're in an MLM company, you won't ever call it pyramid selling, because that's one of the biggest objections you're going to get in that pyramid selling thing. But pyramid selling is different in the way that the only way you can make money from pyramid selling is by getting other people into the business. So I don't know if that recent BitConnect thing in the crypto world, I don't know if that was kind of classed as pyramid selling or what, but because I never really looked into it properly. But basically, pyramid selling is when you recruit somebody and that's the money you make, and then they recruit more people and that's how you make money. Whereas multi-level marketing is more product focused. So you'll sell products and you'll get a cut, but then your upline will get a cut too. So one of the biggest real estate company in the world, which is called Keller Williams, actually runs on this model. So they recruit real estate agents into their business. And if anybody's interested in selling real estate, I know just the guy to get involved in this, at least in the UK. I've got nothing to do with it, but he's actually a family member of mine. So if anybody wants to start selling real estate, you basically get a big chunk of commission for every house you sell. Then let me know and I'll put you in touch with him. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, Keller Williams, which is a huge real estate company, the biggest real estate company in the world, is actually runs on a multi-level marketing kind of structure. I don't know if that's what they call themselves, because I think they all try and stay away from the words pyramid selling, network marketing, MLM and all that stuff. But I think it does run like that. But I've got a lot of respect for it, because it brings people with no business experience into a world of business and sets them up in business. And yeah, some of the business models are a little bit too slanted towards the distributors and the recruiters. But for the right business model, I've always quite liked the idea of it. But people have got a lot of perceptions about MLM, which makes it difficult to recruit for, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against it at all. But at the same time, I do favor an internet business model. Jacqueline, hey, Jacqueline. Secret Sunday sermon. I think I did. But I thought, why not? Simon says, morning, SWP, not long to go. So excited for next Monday. Yeah, Simon's referring to the live event, which is on the 30th of April. We're selling tickets until this Wednesday. So Wednesday, the 25th, tickets are coming off sale. Lockdown, even the recordings tickets. So even if you're wanting to watch the recordings of the live event, they are closing on Wednesday too. Will I release them in the future? Yeah, probably. I probably will, but I'm not going to be in a uber rush to do it. The recordings of the people that turn up to the live event. I'm not going to bang on about that. If you're interested in learning about info products, we've got a live event coming. Get your tickets. I'd love to see you there. Love to meet you. It's going to be after the also a Sunday night and staying on the Sunday and the Monday night. But the Monday night, we've actually got some structured networking events. So straight after the event, we've still got the room and we're going to have a couple of hours or so of networking. So you're about to get a drink, be able to meander, mingle, chat. We'll be there. We're going to hang around for the networking as well. I don't know if we've booked a hotel room yet. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll ask Holly. But our intention is to stay. So probably have a couple too many drinks, to be honest. But that's the Sunday. I'm not going to drink. Sorry, that's the Monday. I'm not going to drink the Sunday night. So I'm nice and fresh for the Monday. Hey, Stephen. Cheers, Matt. Good info. Ambitious for a Sunday morning. I know, tell me about it, buddy. Not for me. I've been up hours, but ambitious for everybody else, it seems. Manjat says, hard work on developing as a leader now pays off in the long run. Absolutely, Manjat. Absolutely. Tell you what, being a leader is difficult. Obviously, in the nightclub game, I was responsible for dozens of staff at any one time. And in the period of time of running it, way over 100 staff, maybe a couple hundred or something like that, but way over 100 staff in the period of running it. And like, I don't know, it's tough because like you do right by them, you bring them in as a family, and then they kind of take the mick. Some of them take the mick and or hate you when they leave and you don't treat them like family anymore. So it's interesting. But yeah, I'm not saying I'm the ultimate leader or the perfect leader, but I try to be the best person I can in every way possible. Well, most of the time. Jacqueline Grove says, Matt, who are your role models? Ooh, good question. I like this. If anybody's got any questions and answers, I'd love to answer them. My role models are Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn is a role model of mine, and Elon Musk probably. But I don't ever expect to be Elon Musk or to ever match him intellectually, business-wise, or anything like that. I'm happy for him to be the superhuman that he is. But Elon Musk, I've got others probably. I really thought about it, but Elon Musk. Let's see what else we've got. Right, Stephen says, any good resources to recommend for creating online digital info, products, books, videos, etc.? Stephen, yeah, get to my live event next Monday. So not tomorrow, the week after. So 8 days away, get to the live event. Honestly, or at least get the recordings of the live event, because that will give you a really, really, really good solid primer into getting into the information products business. And then the sky's the limit from there. You can continue within that very quick passive cash flowing model. I'm going to teach in one day on that, or you can go deep and just basically scale it up and make it your life's work. And that's more like what I taught on the 8-week coaching course. So one will probably take you to 6 figures income, and the other one will probably take you to 7 or 8 figures income. Again, earnings disclaimer, I'm not promising any income, but I love the information products business model. It's high demand. It's the supplies, the beauty, right? There's a lot of people supplying info, but the beauty of it is it's like being a chef in your own restaurant. It's your product. As long as you're not warming somebody else's product up, it's your product. So as much as you've got competition and there's lots of free information out there and stuff, you can position your information in a very different way to everybody else's, which makes it unique. So to a certain extent, you can kind of kill the competition by just making a different product. So I really like it. It's like being a chef in your own restaurant. Say, if you're a great chef, you can make a great product and nobody else can sell that product unless you want them to. And then you set them up as an affiliate and then you get paid as well as they get paid for that. So yeah, beautiful business model, but I would absolutely recommend that. Oh, I'm getting the questions now. I like it. Sean says, what was the biggest difference you noticed in your interactions with people when you started making lots of money? Wow, what a great question. I'll tell you what the biggest thing was, Sean. The biggest thing is normal people don't, not that they don't want to know you anymore, but normal people struggle with it. So your closest friends might struggle with it, but they'll be okay because they're your friends. And this sounds crazy, and it might sound crazy if you've come from a family of money and you've, like, maybe your family knows families of money. It might be very different for you. But me being working class, come from the bottom, literally like council estate kid, no money, no income, nothing. We've got nothing. To go from that to having money, but still being around the same people, they struggle. They will struggle to accept where you're at. Maybe through fear that you're going to leave them behind, maybe through something else, maybe through jealousy. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe through a feeling that you've changed who you are because now you've got money, you're not like them. I don't know. But that is have. And I don't think I'm making lots of money. I don't want to sit here and make out that I'm making lots of money. I know relatively to probably your average, everyday kind of Brit going to work for a normal wage, yeah, I'm earning lots of money. But for me, until I'm earning like millions of dollars a year, every year without working, I'm probably not, in my mind, making lots of money. But for most people's kind of definition of it, then yeah, I suppose I'm already there. But not mine. I don't want that to sound kind of how I didn't intend it. I'm just trying to say everybody's on a journey. We're all at different places in our journey. And as much as people might see I make lots of money, to me, I don't make lots of money. Not yet. But I'm working towards it. You know, I want to get there. I want to do millions a year. I'd like to do 3 million next year. I'd like to do 5 million the year after. That's kind of my personal goals. I've not written it down. So maybe I should. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, people will struggle. And you always got to question people's intentions when they know you've got money. But I don't struggle with that. Where I'm from, there isn't really gold diggers. Everybody says there is, but I don't see it. There isn't really gold diggers. And I know there probably are, but I don't know any gold diggers. Quite the opposite is the case. What I struggle with is people accepting me for me and who I am as a person. So people will judge me and think, well, he's not like me because he's got more than me. Or maybe they think I'm judging them and I'm not. And I'm just a person. I'm just a normal person. And inside, I'm still a council estate kid that's grown up and done okay for himself. But I don't ever try and rub it in anyone's face. If I ever look like that on the channel, it's because I'm trying to inspire people, not brag. But I'm very non-braggy in the real world. I really, really, really try and keep it to myself. But at the same time, I think it's toxic to keep it to yourself to a certain extent. And you should be who you are. And what's that guy? I don't know the guy's name that I got the quote from, but eagles fly alone. To a certain extent, if people can't accept you for who you are, then, you know, maybe you've got to accept you're going to be an eagle that's got to fly alone. There's always going to be people that will accept you for who you are. Maybe you've just got to find a new flock. But that's the biggest change, and the thing I've struggled with most, having people that I would have easily got on with judge me and not be able to get on with me because they think I'm something that they could never be, or they're not, or something. And that's the thing I struggle with most. I've got an itchy, peely nose. Right, let's see what else we've got. Hope that answers your question. Morning, Rob. Good morning, Snake Jones. Oh, Sean says, as in, did you feel more confident or did you notice people treat you differently? Sean, you can get treated. You can get treated exactly the same way as you would get treated with money if you just dress nice. So if you, for example, I remember walking into House of Fraser wearing a blazer, just wearing smart clothes, looking smart, and I got called sir. And I sat down on the sofa. I was just waiting for Ollie to do shopping or whatever. I sat down on the sofa, and this lady came over to me that worked there and called me sir and said, would I like a drink, a cup of tea or something? I'm in House of Fraser. What are they offering me cups of tea for? But that wasn't anything to do with wealth. That was the way I was dressed and presented myself. So if you want to know what it's like to have money and how people are treated differently, just dress better. And I'm not saying I dress well. Most of the time I just dress like crap. Like I say, this is probably H&M, I don't know. But like, and I've just got some like 4 or 5-year-old jeans on. So like they're really old and like the top buttons popped off and stuff. So I don't typically dress really nice, but I've gone off on a tangent there. Let me have a look. What was the question again? Do you feel more confident? I wouldn't say so. I changed as a person. I'm not sure I've changed. I'm not sure money's changed me as a person. I think I don't feel any more confident in areas where I didn't feel confident before. So yeah, it's weird. But yeah, people do not. Snake Joe says, happy birthday to Her Majesty, mate. You planning on paying her a visit? Is it the Queen's birthday or something? I didn't even know that. That's how much news I watch. I didn't know that, if it is. Simon Gardner says, deep question, mate. If you have employees doing online work for you, what is the main health and safety rules to be aware of? Preventing backache or eye strain working at computer? To be honest, Simon, I think people get bogged down with all this health and safety stuff a little bit too much. I'm not saying you've not got to be aware of it, but you've got to make sure it doesn't cripple you. psychologically cripple you. So, for example, I was, touch wood and all that, I had the nightclub for a few years. People were slipping, falling over all the time on drink and cutting themselves and getting into fights and all kinds of bits and bobs. And touch wood, I was only ever sued once. So, and that was for a slip and trip claim that we believe was false. But yeah, so that was the only time I ever got sued, touch wood and all that, in the nightclub game. So, and trust me, the nightclub game is a grungy, dingy business at times. So, that's good going. But what I'm saying is, if you, and this is not health and safety advice. I would just say, if you've got any concerns, legal concerns, go get a health and safety expert in to give you their opinion. I'm not qualified for it, but as far as I'm aware, it's little things like, I suppose, giving regular breaks. I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know. I think your arms have got to be kind of parallel to the floor, and you've got to have a supportive chair and stuff, like with a back on it and things like that. But I got to be honest, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't let that stuff bog me down. Doing business is hard enough on its own, just the marketing side of things, the selling side of things, the creating stuff and buying stuff and building stuff. Try and do the best I can and don't let it bog me down. But again, I'm not saying that's good advice, but I think if people did everything you meant to do before you start a business, nobody would ever start a business and nobody would ever recruit anybody. So there's all kinds of stuff. Like when I got into the nightclub game, I didn't know you had to get a PRS license to play music. Oh, and there's not just the PRS license, there's a PPL license. I didn't know that. But I went for it. Do you know what I mean? And just figured it out as I went. And, oh, right, you've got this PRS license to buy, have you? Oh, and this PPL license. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't even properly understand VAT when I went into it, because the vast majority of my sales before that were in the US. And I just let the accountant deal with it. So going into a real life, real world business and having to understand that, I just learned it as I went along. So I'm a big believer in kind of, jump first and figure it out later. There's probably some guru that said that at some point, but just kind of just figure it out as you go along. That's my thoughts. Like if something comes across your mind, just give it a little Google or watch a video or something. All right, okay, figured that out. And then when something else comes up, go for that. Because otherwise you get analysis paralysis and you won't end up ever doing anything. Right. Oh, these are really good questions, guys. I weren't expecting any questions. These are awesome. So Jacqueline Groves asks, if you lost it all and had to start again with nothing, what business would you do? Information products. And I'm not just saying that because the live event's next week. Like, I'm not saying it at all for that. Information products. I got to be honest, I've got so many good things to say about information products and information product business and what it's done for me in my life. I'd have to say the information products business. But having said that, a lot of businesses have a lot of appeal for me. So, I mean, if I had money, I'd love to open a hotel. If I had money, there's a lot of businesses I would probably do. I'd love to open a restaurant, but it'd probably have to be a vegan one now. So, not sure about that. There's lots of businesses I like to do, but information products business is one you can get into that's highly scalable, like nothing you've ever seen, and you can get into for zero cash. So assuming I was starting again with zero cash, I would almost certainly go into the information products business. And all the skill set that you learn in it is transferable to other businesses as well. So I cut my teeth in online business in information products, and then I took that to, to be fair, I did affiliate marketing a bit before that, but affiliate marketing, information products. I've done physical products. I've done private shipping. Done a million other things like in between. And the skill set learned from information products has helped me with every single thing I've ever done, even the nightclub game. So I learned how to use Photoshop in information products, not because I had to, because I chose to, but I transferred that skill set into creating posters and flyers and stuff for my nightclub. I used to design a lot of them myself. And do you know what I mean? So like a lot of what you learn in information products, and I'm not saying Photoshop's one of them, but a lot of what you learn in information products directly transfers into the businesses. So I'll probably do that because that's my heaviest duty skill set. Copywriting, things like, to be fair, I've got a very varied skill set, but writing good copy, being able to persuade, being able to sell is a very, very, very good skill set you will learn in information products. Right. These questions are great. I'm never asking the Facebook group ever again for the questions. I'm coming to YouTube Live and I'm going to ask you guys. There's not many people watching, but I still love the fact that you're coming out with some cracking questions. So the question was, and I've lost it. Sam S says, good morning, all. And Matt, what is an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love? Ooh, I bet Ollie could answer that one for me better. An unusual thing that I love. Oh, such a good question. The first one that came to mind, I can't even say on a YouTube channel. It would mean that I'd got to put a parental filter on this. And that's going to make that sound worse than it actually is. It's not bad. I just shouldn't say it on here. That's all. I'll have to think about that one. Sorry, nothing comes to mind. But great question. I love the questions that make me think. Sales Hunter Good says, good morning, Father Matt. Peace be with you. Peace be with you too. That others may consider quirky, Sam says. Oh, a quirky habit. Oh, a quirky habit. Oh, this one's good. I can't just burp, and this is a bit gross. Sorry for you guys that think I've got a halo on my head. I can't just burp. When I was a kid on the council estate, I always used to be dead impressed by the other kids that were much older than me. So I was 11, 12, and the other kids were like 17, 18, walking on the street. Not strictly kids, but they're walking down the street. They're big kids. And this one lad used to walk down the street, and he used to be able to burp and make the loudest burp I've ever heard in my entire life. And I never used to be able to do it as a kid. So I'd be like really little burps. And I know this is crazy, but I was a council estate kid. So if you're thinking prim and proper Matt, shouldn't be talking about burping or belching, whatever you call it, then sorry. But yeah, so anyway, he was able to project his burps, and I practiced and practiced and practiced till I could project my burps. So now when I burp, I can burp really, really crazy loud, and it's quirky and unusual and a bit horrible. And Holly hates when I do it, but I can't help it. It's like built into me from years of practicing how to make this burp like this older kid did that walked down the street. So yeah, that's pretty quirky. Hi, Matt from Surbiton, South London way. Ooh, Mark's in Surbiton. Cool. Sales Hunter, and you, my child. Jacqueline Grove says, yes, build your parachute on the way down. Yeah, that's a good saying. I like that one. It sounds good to me. Build your parachute on the way down. Jump with no parachute and find one on your way. Not sure that'd work, but yeah. I've answered this question many a time, Rob. Rob says, what would be your first choice, private jet or private boat, and what would you name them? Great question. You know what? When I sit here thinking about it, I would get way more use out of a private jet, but my preference would be a private boat, a mega yacht. I've never wanted to buy a jet, but I'd love to buy one of these big $100 million boats. These I just love them. They're great. And I would call it the secret soul hangar. I don't know what to call it. That's terrible. Crikey Mike said I'm the same with the burp thing. At least it's not just me then, brofist. Because Holly does not like it when I do that. Sean says, if you could speak a language. I love these questions, guys. They're great. If you could speak a language, which one would you choose? I would love to say Chinese, because that's meant to be like the future or whatever, Mandarin. But I'm going to have to go with I'm going to go with French, just because I know a little bit of it, and I always feel so cool when I'm able to understand a little bit of it. So I'll probably learn French. And I like the south of France, so I'd probably use it when I'm down there. But French, yeah, probably French. As sad as that is, because I know it's not the most useful of languages. Probably be better off learning Spanish because half the world speak it, or I don't know, or Chinese, like I say, the future language of business, or Mandarin. Oh, it's saying 9% low battery, so I'm going to have to go get my breakfast shortly. If you've got any more questions, though, throw them in. I'll try and get them before this battery dies. I've quite enjoyed this live, after all. Call it the Matatu. Ooh, I like that. That's good. If you weren't born an Englishman, what would you have liked to be as another foreign national, and why? Ooh, what a great question. I love our American brothers and sisters. I think if I could have been anything other than a Brit, and I'm quite proud and patriotic to be a Brit. Don't get me wrong. I think our government, every single government we've had for years and years and years, has been a joke. I think there's a lot wrong with the UK. I think there's a lot wrong with a lot of people in the UK. But at the same time, I don't know. It's home. It's what I love. It's what I know, and stuff. So like, I'm proud and happy to be a Brit or an English person. But having said that, if I had to choose, I would probably choose. Let's see if this is plugged in. See if this keeps me live for a couple more minutes. If I had to choose, it's plugged in. If I had to choose American, and why? Because America is one of the greatest nations on earth. And if you're American, you'll probably say it is the greatest nation on earth. I definitely think it's up there. And I love America. Every time I go to America, I love it. I like Americans. I like how friendly Americans are. I like the way they think. I don't know, I just like America. But having said that, I love loads of places. So, yeah. Simon Gardner says, is Becca doing the £500 challenge? Hopefully, Simon. I've had her create her first information product, which is cool. That is totally out of her comfort zone. I never thought I'd get her to do that. I thought I would struggle to get her to do the £500 challenge because I was asking her to be on video for it. But she's done a blooming information products course. So, like, I'm so proud of her. And that's totally out of her comfort zone. She's not a naturally confident person. So I'm pretty certain that we can get to do the £500 challenge at some point. She was really poorly back when I wanted to do it before, and she was coming and she was looking ill. She's still coming to work, but she's looking poorly and stuff. So I didn't force it. But at some point, especially when the new Chrome extension for online arbitrage comes out, which I'm so excited about. It's so close. We're talking realistically now, guys. We're talking 2 weeks away. That's realistic. It's very, very close. We've got the developers working full-time for us, and they have been for weeks now. I think for weeks, but definitely right now, the developers are full-time working on our projects and our projects alone. So we're on it. We're pushing. Going to get the live event done and dusted, and then I've got to do some stuff, and then boom, the Chrome extension is ready to rock and roll. And when that's ready to rock and roll, it would be a perfect time for Beck to then do the £500 challenge, because we'll be able to talk about the Chrome extension as part of the challenge. Maybe even, I can't say too much, but you'll have to stay tuned. Something super interesting, to do with the Chrome extension that Beck could do. So it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, hopefully if I can get her to do it, she will do it. Rob says, if you had to spend 2 weeks away somewhere warm without internet access the whole time, what country would it be? Wow. Without internet access for 2 weeks. I do like Dubai. I really like Dubai. I would love a cruise. Maybe a Caribbean cruise, but if it's warm, Mediterranean cruise would do me. Anywhere, just a cruise. A really good cruise. Boom. Boom. Or failing that, if I could take the kid, Disney World, Florida. Again, love it there. Snake Jones, woohoo! God bless Father Matt. Oh dear. Sean says, if you had to live in a country with no internet, what would you do for a living? Like, what would you sell? I think I can make anything work now, and that might sound big-headed, but I think I can make anything work now. You know, with the business experience I've got with offline and online businesses, what I would sell, I don't know, but I would like it to be high demand, high margin stuff. But with no internet, I wouldn't want to just be like a door-to-door salesman. I'd hate that. I'd want somewhere generating leads, but yeah. Q, I hope that answers your question. It doesn't really. If you had to live in a country with no internet, what would you do for a living? Like, what would you sell? I would find a no-cost or low-cost business and try and scale it up. That's what I'd do. So I would go into something that had low barriers to entry, and I would look to dominate the local area doing that business and look to recruit others on some kind of win-win basis and build a team of people all working under the umbrella of my business. And obviously I'd have to build some advantages in there, so I didn't just go, well, we can do this ourselves. Or rule through fear, the fist of, I don't know what I'm saying. Simon says, what CD is in your car stereo at the moment? I don't even know if it does, buddy. I don't think you can put a CD in it. So nothing. But what music's on my phone? I don't update my music enough, but what I've been listening to in the gym lately is Drake Headlines, I think the album's called. But I like a bit of that. Yeah, so Drake Headlines, it would be answering your question. Ooh, the questions keep coming. This is more about me. I love it. So Rob says, jet ski or paragliding? I have done both, and I've never wanted to buy a paragliding kit, but boy, oh boy, have I wanted to buy a jet ski. If I lived closer to the sea, I probably would have already by now. But jet ski, definitely, 100% jet ski. I love jet skis. Not going around in circles like they make you do when you go abroad most places. I went to Malta once, and me and my brother hired jet skis, and it was amazing. They just said, as long as you stay from that point to that point, as long as we can see you, basically. So on the horizon, as long as we can see, and there's a vast bit of ocean there, then you can stay. You can do what you want. And we just went out there on jet skis, just just doing what we wanted. It was amazing. Right, I'm going to have to go get some break tea now. I really enjoyed the questions, guys. Thanks ever so much for throwing some random questions at me. Maybe one day I'll do just a live get to know Matt, ask him anything, not business. Or maybe we'll throw business in there as well. I don't know how many viewers we'd get or if there'd be any interest, but I'm going to make a prediction now that people are going to get a lot more interested in me and this channel over the next 1 to 5 years. There you go. So yeah. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks ever so much, guys, for joining us. I'm going to leave. Appreciate the questions. I really enjoyed those questions, guys. And yeah, for many of you, I will see you next week at the live event. If you have not already got tickets yet, you should get them now. We're closing registration on this Wednesday. Come in. Cracky Mike says, super inspiring as always. Oh, cheers, Cracky Mike. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if you would. Smash that thumbs up button if you're logged in. Give me a thumbs up right now. Give it me. I'll see it come up on my screen. Give it me. Go on, do it. Do it. Do it. Give me a thumbs up. It's not happening. Still got 4 thumbs up. Rob's done it already. That's why it didn't come up. Right, anyway, thanks so much, guys. Big magic, wait, Sunny. Oh, a 7. Oh, they've come up. Thanks, guys. Nice one. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Speak soon. Bye-bye.